Congratulations to the graduates as well as those parents. Let me begin with a quote from Anne Isabella. Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Our chief guest today, His Excellency Ambassador Vadivel Krishnamurthy, guest of honors, my colleague board members, Principal Mr. Nazir, Vice Principal, respected teachers, Vice President and members of the PTA, parents, families, graduates, students, and friends. Assalamu alaikum, aiboan, and wanakkam. And good evening to all of you. It's been a great honor to stand before these graduates. Graduation, as said, is not the end. It is the beginning. On behalf of the Board of Directors, more than the speech, we thought of giving some sort of a guidance. It could be a career guidance. It could be an evaluation. But we hope that's going to be helpful to their life. I basically gathered this from two books. One is, as you all know, The 7 Habits Highly Effective People from Stephen Covey. And the most important book is The Start of a Few. But I'm not going to give a lecture here. But hopefully these graduates will read those books and get the value or rather benefit out of it. Today, you have been produced to the world. The world is open for you. But you need to choose your path. When you are choosing a path, there are important factors that you need to consider. Let me put it this way. There are two main factors where your life is based on. First thing is the character. Second thing, the competency. Competency is beyond our control. It is within your control. We cannot guide your path. It is up to you. You have the freedom to choose of your path. But character is the thing that we can guide you to some extent as parents, as elders, as teachers, as board members as well. To talk about the character, I took some excerpts from 7 Habits Highly Effective People. The habit one, as you all know, talk about the proactiveness. Be proactive. Yeah. But don't stop from there actually. But what we need to put here, what Stephen Covey says, the 10-90 principles. It's like iceberg. What you see in the iceberg in the surface, that's the 10%. The 90% is in the ocean. It's below the sea. But the 90% is within your control. You choose your choices. It's your decision. But be prepared for the consequences that you are going to face. There are 10% of the activities happening around you of which you don't have control over. The 90% is so huge. You can choose anything you want, but with a planful career guidance, you will be on the right path. There are instances when you say proactiveness, because we, even in the commercial world, because when we come to a performance evaluation, you can check with your parents, is the initiativeness. We can't find with these 90% the excuses. If you want to learn, but the power is failure, it's not an excuse. I'm just giving an example. If you want to put forward for anything any day you want, it is your choice. But there are consequences for which you have to face of your choices. This is the habit number 1. Habit number 2 is says begin with end in mind. Meaning from the day 1, it could be today, it could be tomorrow. From the day 1, plan your goal. This begin with end in mind, when I say, it could be for your life, it could be for a project, it could be for your studies, it could be anything. But these are the habits that you need to develop in you. Today you are going to begin a life. It's your choice. But you should be able to visualize your end. If you cannot see your end, is no point of walking down the path that you have chosen. It's like a blueprint of your building plan. Has anyone built a house without a plan? No. The building is the physical visual that you see. The blueprint is the mental visuals. That you got to choose. Mentally, you should be able to choose and visualize who you are going to be, what you are going to be, whom you are going to be, and when. I don't want to go more on this, but I'll just move on to the next habits. But there again, I just want to remind you, these graduates, my total speech for the graduates, some are applicable for the parents as well. This begin with end in mind. Sometimes you will have to work out a mission statement. Mission statements is very, very important in your life. Yes, it doesn't add value. Some people may think, but spend little time. Spend little time, develop your mission statement. Give you guidance, but rest of things to your choices. I am not here to guide to the right path or rather the right profession. I am giving certain guides here and there for you all to choose when you plan it. When you make a mission statement, there are many factors. There are 4 important factors where Stephen Covey says, live, love, learn, and leave a legacy. These are 4 factors that you need to consider when you're making a mission statement. But there again, there are other factors as well. This is in addition to the goals that you are going to set, the role and the purpose of your life. Everyone's life here has a purpose in this world. Whether we like it or not, directly or indirectly, we are subject to some controls. If you let it go, the surroundings, the environment, or the bosses, the teachers, or anybody, definitely taking control over you. Before that, you need to plan and take the control over our surroundings. Let me move into the next habits. The first thing first. It's a very important habit. Gentlemen, may I take some time actually to give some hints and guidance for these graduates. The first thing first is the main thing, is the main thing. Is the main thing. It is your choices how to set priorities in your life. By the way, I'm putting forward the habits in your life because these are not milestones for you to achieve. These are habits that you need to generate in your life. You have to go with these habits, practice these habits in your life. There are 4 quadrants that Stephen Covey put forward. Okay, first is the urgent and important, which is the first quadrant when you do priority planning. The second is not urgent but important. The third one is urgent and not important. And the fourth one is not urgent, not important. Unfortunately, most of the people are on the fourth quadrant. If you are set your to-do list, okay, whatever the plans, put for these four quadrants, arrange it, then you will perfectly plan your life, or rather your task, or a job, or anything. Prioritize in this manner. But this changes. There is no concrete or there is no hard and fast rule for you to fix the to-do list or whatever thing that you want to do. Is keep changing. The world is changing. You have to keep changing as the world is moving. I'll move into the next one. Think win-win. Think win-win is one of the main attributes where most of the people find very difficult to practice it. As Bill Clinton said, Mr. Nazir was telling about it, the quote, you got to support for others win. It's a win-win situation. When come to this world, the comparison is the poison, is a poison word. The comparison is the thief of your joy. Don't compare. Support your colleagues or members or whoever you have. Support them. Always look for a win-win situation. The next habit is first to understand, then to be understood. I don't want to go detail on this. I appreciate if you all can read the detail of these habits. And the next habit is very important, is a synergize. Synergizing means 1 + 1 = 3, as you all know. It's about teamwork. From today or from tomorrow, you will have to get these attributes into your life. We have seen many people are not practicing this life. It's about teamwork. Synergize. You see, if you really see the success or the major achievers in this world, it could be who developed the internet. There are co-founders, not single person. There are co-founders. Who developed the Facebook? There are co-founders. There are teamworks. Who developed Apple computer? There are co-founders. Who developed the Wikipedia? There are co-founders. There are teams. There are teams who actually work together, and they are synergizing together. What we have seen in the corporate world, they lack much of teamwork. There are many factors. I need not put forward everything together here, but there are many factors. But these are the attributes that you had to adopt from now onwards. And the last habit, which I really like about the sharpen the saw. It has become a metaphor where even in the corporate world, we sometimes put this, the habit. For any wording, we are sharpening the saw. It's about a motor vehicle going around without refueling it. You got to refuel. It's about a person who is sawing the tree without sharpening the saw. The sharpening the saw is from all the body and every part of your life. It could be body, it could be mind, it could be heart, it could be soul as well. You need frequent renewal for your education, for your mind, for your body, for everything. It's a frequent renewal. There is no stop. This is what I said at the beginning. There is no graduation is not the end. This is just a start. Mere start. You are just getting into the world. But the 7 habits that you have to put together, there you cannot have adopting one part and missing the other. You got to practice it. It is not about reading the book and leaving it aside. As Gandhi said, one man cannot do the right thing in one department of his life and occupy doing wrong thing another department. You have to have the balance. All right. This is left to you and is your choices. Our duty is to give some guidance. Before I begin, there are another book that I read about. It's The Startup of You. The Startup of You is written by Reid and Ben. Yeah, Reid Hoffman. And Ben, actually, Reid is actually the chairman of the LinkedIn. What actually he is talking about, when you plan your career plan, there are few attributes that you need to look into. He is quoting one thing from the Nobel Prize winner, Muhammad Yunus. What he says, all human beings are born entrepreneurs. Our entrepreneurship or entrepreneur DNA is there in our body. With over the civilization changes, we have forgotten this. We have become slaves, we have become laborers. But these young graduates, you need to plan your careers as an entrepreneur planning his business, his entity. There is something called permanent beta. Probably the people who are really in technological world, they would have heard permanent beta. It is like almost similar to the, say, now it's very famous. Now you will see the iOS Apple software as well as Android software. The permanent beta is a product that you put out, but they keep changing and improving. The moment you let it stay, it's going to die out of the market. It will be thrown out of the market. This is called in technological world the permanent beta. You have to keep changing. It's almost like your career plan. It is not one particular time you sit and plan and put things and you forget about it. No. Every day, every week, every month, every year, you got to review this and renew this and plan for this. Every time that you plan, look for improvement. Look for value addition in your career plan. This is called permanent beta. The next and very important factor is the competitive advantage. What is this competitive advantage? You graduates, after all your studies, you'll be produced to the world, the commercial world. Why a company or an employer or a manager choose you over the others? Why? What is your competitive advantage? Think about it. Why you should be different to others? Even if it is me, why should I choose one of you over the others? There is one attribute that you had to find that attributes. Is in you. You need to isolate that attribute, invest on it. That is competitive advantage. This is a marketing concept, but applicable for the career plan. You should be able to differentiate yourself from the rest of the applicants when you are applying for any jobs. Why? It is over the period you found your competitive advantage and you develop over a period of time. Then you will be shining in the market, for sure. When you go to LinkedIn, I hope most of the parents will have profile. And we choose people over the others. Why? They have competitive advantage. This is very important feature. This competitive advantage, when they talk about this, there are three factors that you need to consider when you choose an attribute, an advantage in you when you want to develop further. First thing is the assets. Asset, you have soft and hard assets. Second thing is your life aspirations and the market realities. You develop an attribute, you develop a competitive advantage where market is not, or rather market doesn't want it, or rather it is not the market looking at it. If a market doesn't want your attributes, what's the point of producing this to the market? You got to see what market demands in you. Then try to develop on that. You have to carefully analyze the market. It could be engineering, it could be accounting, it could be medicine, anywhere. Carefully analyze the market and match and understand or evaluate your competitive advantage, work on that, invest on that. That is your competitive advantage. See, why I put the character first before I come to the competencies or the competitive advantage? The character matters a lot. We have in our company, we have a PhD holders and many qualified people, but they cannot go up in the ladder. Why? Due to some reason. I don't want to criticize them, but they lack most important part, which is the character. Character is the most important thing. You cannot forget about the character and focus on the competencies. No, you had to develop together. No point recruiting an employee with tarnished character. No point. It could be you are a super duper person, but if you don't have proper character, definitely you get rejected. Now there are examinations, there are tests in well-recognized organizations to test your character. There are tests. There are nice tests they are designed to test your character. You could be a PhD holder, you could be a super duper and a first class degree holder, but if you don't get through your character or other test, you're totally out. So it's very important. So when you look at your competitive advantage, you had to consider yourself, your direction. Where should I, maybe some teachers, maybe some parents, maybe giving some compliments, very frequent compliments. You are good at this. Think about it. There could be frequent compliments coming from the teachers. Think about it. It could be one niche. Could be one niche you got to identify. If my DNA or other many sections, I need not tell you all. Now these things evolving, Yani. These things evolving. It's not one particular day, as I said, for you all to plan and stop and throw it away. No. You have to keep reviewing it and keep renewing it, inshallah. I have many things to put forward, but I don't have time. And very important thing that I want to tell you is about the networking. You got to have a proper networking. Very important factor. Don't be isolated from the world. You can have your networking of your colleagues, of your professionals, of your graduates, or any institution that you go, build a network and expand your network. Very frequently review the network. Many of us, we get into a better position through the networks. Don't try to put the network building to a side. It is a very important factor in your life. It's all about, because see, maybe your parents, including me, and maybe that we don't practice these things. It's too late for us. But today, you are just going to begin a life, begin a profession, begin to choose a profession. You need to build all these attributes going forward. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.